Hello everybody, welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. My name of course is System Z, and today we are going to be doing an iron farm, which is going to be much needed for future projects. However, in the last episode guys, we worked on this absolutely stunning aquarium in our base that goes full 360, and luckily over the past couple of live streams we've actually been able to fill it up with some fish. Basically whenever anybody donates, they're able to basically get a fish and of course name it with their name, and it is definitely filling out. We've got turtles, dolphins, fish, oh my! But guys, my favorite part has got to be this. You can actually feed the fish, and whenever a dolphin comes around, actually they should just come to it, they basically go for the item, and I love it so much. They're not doing it in this case, it doesn't look like, but I do need to build them on all sides. But essentially, once you actually do that, they go for it. I think this dolphin might go for it. Come on, little buddy, you're close. You can do it. There he goes. He's doing it. Yeah, there we go. I love it so much because they genuinely seem to enjoy it. One of the best things about the update. So in between now and last episode, I actually have been working on something to do with villagers. I've actually managed to bring some villagers over during one of the live streams a couple of weeks back, and I went ahead and put them to work. We've basically built a village breeder here, as you can see. Very, very simple overall. We've just got about, I think, 30 to 40 doors here, and of course, probably 10 villagers or so now. Very, very simple design, very temporary. I will remove this once we're done with today's project, but we basically are going to need 10 villagers for our iron farm. Now, I should be very good at building these at this point because, to be honest, I am recording this the second time today. I actually attempted something that seemed like a great idea until I actually put it to use. Woo, I almost fell there. Originally, I built an iron farm that was in all four corners, and I was expecting it to be amazing. But apparently water is not a transparent block that you can use because it diffuses the sunlight, so we basically had glass poles sticking up through the water, and I didn't like that. So we're just going to build a simple one right here, not invisible water, and that should be just fine enough. I've actually got it kind of laid out here as far as the corners go. As you can see, we've got the different slabs here, or not slabs, trapdoors to kind of represent the corners. It's an 18 by 18 cube, and we should be all set and ready to go. I just need to get my beacon and go ahead and do some digging to clear this out, which it's mostly water now that I think about it. So I'm going to need to grab some sponges, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, guys, and I will see you guys once I've done that. This feels good, nano. All the water's gone now. Seriously, this is one of the worst things about Minecraft 1.13. Water and sponges just don't really work well together. So yeah, but we basically got our shulker box here full of stone bricks because we are ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do first is go ahead and build the actual farm itself. Now in the corners here, as you can see, we've got transparency all the way up to the top. We do have to change the trapdoor into glass, however. So the way this is going to work is we're basically going to be building up the rows on the outside, other than the corners, up to about 3. We're going to build them up by 3 blocks and basically place doors on them. So that is the first thing we're going to need to do. After that, we're going to need to go ahead and fill it in, get the doors situated, and all that good stuff. So I will show you guys once we've gone around the ring with 3 blocks. There we go. And now what we need to do is go ahead and get the doors placed. But first, let's go ahead and place a torch here in the corners. Now this design is pretty much everyone's design. I don't really think there's any credit to be given here because a lot of people build these, and this is pretty much the design that everybody uses. Especially underground. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and craft some doors. We're going to need a ton of them as well. Don't really know exactly how many, but we should be able to get plenty with probably just 1 stack, to be honest. Let's see. Gonna need a little bit more. I think we're gonna need close to 40 doors, if not 40 on the dot. So there we go, 57. That should definitely do. Now what we're gonna need to do is go ahead and try and switch out for stone bricks there. There we go. Break them down. Thank you, by the way, for everybody telling me to use the middle click button to switch to blocks. It has been very, very useful lately. But now what we need to do is go ahead and place the doors. Now I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. Z, in order for a village to work, you have to make sure there's an air block above a door. That is correct. However, what you can also do is put an air block 5 blocks away from a door. So technically, this is actually counting as a villager door. All we'd have to do is put a block above it, and we would be all good to go. That being said, what we can actually do from the corners is place 5 blocks of doors going kind of inwards towards the corner. As you can see, so this is the front of the door, that's the front of the door, that's the front of the door, and so on, all the way to the corner, which is our one transparent block. Doing this allows us to only have to do the corners for the actual doors, and that's actually really, really cool and very useful. Then we skip about 6 blocks and do basically the same thing in all corners, just 5 blocks in, and we've got our valid doors for our village. Now, I've tested the rates of this thing, and it's really not all that great. You really only get about, I'd say, 8 stacks of iron overnight, and that's definitely not the greatest performance, but it will do for what I'm looking to do. By the time we get to the next episode, I should have at least a double chest filled with iron, which is going to be perfect for starting on the actual storage system, which I don't know if we're going to do that next episode, so that gives me even more time. So this is really all I'm going to need for what I'm doing. I don't really want to just grind infinite amount of iron. I'd like to at least have to wait for it, at the very least. So now what we need to do is go ahead and place blocks along the top, skipping the corners, because if we don't do that, obviously it's going to cancel out the actual valid doors, and we do not want that. So now I just need to go around and do this. And guys, I'm very sorry for the fact that this is basically becoming a tutorial. I promise we're going to get onto some really cool stuff here momentarily. I know it was probably killing a lot of you to see the ground as sand, so I went ahead and replaced that, and now we get to the fun part, and that is to place the water. Again, sorry if this seems like a tutorial. I'm really just trying to get through it quickly so that it doesn't seem that way. But what I'm going to do to make this really, really interesting is actually sync up the item depositing system to our actual observatory. It's going to be really, really cool once this entire project is done, because we're going to have a ton of really cool farms all leading into the same place. And one of the things that I really, really love about Minecraft, and I've actually recently discovered about myself, is I love to do really cool mechanical projects like redstone with a very, very beautiful, well-built interface. I think that's one of my favorite things to do with really anything. Because back when I used to program, I would love to do apps that have beautiful interfaces. And if I ever saw an app on like the Android market that didn't have a great interface, I just wanted to redo it. And of course I never did, because that would be copying, but you know, at the end of the day, I love to do interfaces. So I think the observatory is going to be really cool once it's all done. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And if you are, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. A lot of people don't really know that you can actually subscribe to your favorite channels to be notified. So I really recommend you guys do that if you enjoy the content. Otherwise, let me know how it can improve in the comments below. But yeah, let me go ahead and place this last corner piece, grab a little bit of water for myself, and as you can see, it all neatly flows into the center. So these are some spawning pads. Apparently iron golems can actually spawn in water, so that's really, really good. And this is basically where they are going to drop. We're just going to need some lava and other things, but before we do that, we're actually going to need to build another layer as well as get our villagers in place, which shouldn't be too hard. Just a couple of rail carts will really get that all put together. Basically, we need to go up to this layer here right in front of the door to actually get this going. And I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that, and I can't even reach it. That's a sad, sad day it is. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, climb up a little bit more, and basically just need to fill it in, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys once I've done that. Yeah, I'm really bad at just leaving anything unfinished. Honestly, I'll never see this room again, yet I, for some reason, decided it would be a good idea to go ahead and make everything look good anyways. All right, now we just need to do the killing chamber, and I really don't even know which way is which, so this is just going to be temporary. We've also got to get our villagers installed here. But I'm going to go ahead and get the killing chamber done and then do the villagers and then AFK for a little bit to see if this actually works, because I really don't know yet if this is how it's supposed to be done. I'm assuming it is. I didn't bring a chest, did I? Oh well. I'll just use the shulker box for now. So we'll go ahead and put that there. That'll be our collection point for now. Now this is a very temporary room. I do plan on making something a little bit better soon, but I need to go ahead and do this. That way I can make myself a way out of here. But basically all we need to do is go ahead and make some signs. We only really need about 4. It looks like we're going to have 2 extra, but that is fine. We'll go ahead and do that there. Just keep it a little bit above. I'm going to do one there and one there. And then we just got to place some lava and, like I said, get our villagers in place and we should be all good to go. Now what's going to happen is the iron golems are going to drop down and they are going to start burning, and of course the hoppers are going to collect the items and put them in here. So we should be all good to go on that. Now I just need to get out of here and get the villagers in place. But like I said, I'm going to do an AFK test to see if this actually works decent. Good news, everybody. It went exactly as according to plan. The bad news, however, is, well, you know, there is no bad news. Oh, squid. Sorry, Mr. Squid, didn't mean to run into you. There is no bad news to be delivered, guys, which is awesome because that means everything went as planned, which is excellent. If we come down here, you will see we do have iron. A little bit more than from what I last saw as well. We've got 14 iron after about, I'd say, 20 minutes, which is pretty good. So now all we need to do is get a design to basically bring all the iron to us. Now, like I said, what I'd like to happen is for all of the iron to be brought right into the observatory. And the way I'm going to do it is using a pipe. Now, I do just want to say, I've seen some comments of people saying I'm copying Hermitcraft with some things. Not really trying to give any attention to them, because really not. I mean, most of what I've done has been my own idea at the very least. But just to avoid anything, I am going to go ahead and say this design that I'm about to use is 100% inspired by Exumavoid. He basically came up with a pipe design using trapdoors and water that I really like. And I'd like to use that for this particular observatory to give it kind of more of a scientific look, to make it actually look like it works. And, well, it will. We're basically going to deliver the iron right into this spot. But before we can do that, we are actually going to need to do a couple things. First things first, we're going to need to dig out all of the concrete powder right there and go ahead and say this is where one white shulker box will be. And it's going to be facing out. So we actually need to fix that up a little bit. There we go. All good to go. We are basically going to go ahead and start with one hopper. And I believe that's it. I don't think we need another one. We're also going to need some glass, but we will get that here in a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and build a basic pipe design. Now, this is going to be a pretty cool looking design if you haven't seen it yet, but again, Exumavoid is pretty much the one to be credited for this because it's a really good design overall. But basically what you do is use trapdoors to surround water, which is going to be carrying the items. And I'm absolutely in love with this because it reminds me of the old days when I used to play modded Minecraft, and it reminds me of like Buildcraft, which has always been one of my favorite mods. It's super cool, and we've never really had any pipe systems in the game, and this isn't necessarily new to the game either. Like, you could always do this, but now you can actually do trapdoors underwater without it looking bad. So what I'm going to be doing is using spruce trapdoors and of course dark oak slabs and stairs to make this look relatively interesting. So this is going to be our input, basically where the actual pipe is going to plug into the wall, and that is essentially going to allow us to have water going through there very smoothly. Now, of course, we're going to have something underneath to hold the water, but basically we are going to have this pipe go through, and it's going to, like I said, hold water. It's going to push the items into that block there, so the water is going to stop right about there. That being said, we are going to need to have one piece of a sign right there, and that should pretty much do it for what we need. From here, we can basically go ahead and take this out to the distance that we're going to do and actually put water in here so that way it'll work. So with the combination of soul sand and different water elevators, this should look pretty cool. So now all I really need to do is get it set up and connected to the iron farm. Are you doing good down there, villagers? Yeah. They didn't say anything. I think they hate it down there, but you know what? It's fine. We get ingots out of it, right? The pipe has been built, as you can see, and I think it looks spectacular. And there is water flowing through it, and if we jump over here and look underneath the island, you'll see there is a pipe there as well, taking it all the way underneath. So the items are flowing up using soul sand elevators and water tunnels, and going all the way through here into a shulker box on the inside. And I think it looks really cool connected to the build. It's not really something I've ever really done. I usually don't like to do things on the outside, but I think it's really realistic and a very nice touch. And I do plan on doing some on the other side as well, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I had in mind for this. Now, obviously, this looks weird and would not really look that great. Oh, wait a minute. Look, we actually got some iron ingots in there and some poppies. There we go. I need to figure out a way to filter these because obviously I don't want just a chest full of poppies when I could be getting iron. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to go ahead and grab our glass, and we're going to cover it up just like that. Put a little bit of an iron trapdoor on top. Think it looks pretty good. Of course, an item frame to let us know what's in here. There we go. And simply put, we're just going to put some flowers on the side. Nothing crazy, just something kind of simple. That'll actually do. And, of course, last but not least, a nice little decoration here. I just saw some iron go in. Yeah, this thing is working pretty good, actually. There we go. And, of course, just get rid of the lighting, which, obviously, we got to figure out something better to do for this area. But for now, we'll just do that. And that is essentially how I've done it. And I know what you're thinking, Z, this isn't really all extravagant, like this isn't amazing. And that's the point. I don't really want this base to just look amazing with every single farm, because there's going to be so many different farms all throughout this place, especially when we get to the 3rd floor. So this is going to be kind of cool for the smaller stuff. What I'd like to do is basically do kind of things like this throughout the place. I know over there we're going to do a item filtration system, where whenever I come into the base, I can basically stop here, and this is where we're going to have the staircase going down on this side, and basically put all of my items in, and they're going to flow out through output tubes instead of input pipes. They're going to be output pipes, and they're basically going to go down in probably the 3rd floor and go through an automated filtration system, and it's going to be really, really cool, I think. But we've definitely got some time between that. I've got to get tons of iron before I can do that. But essentially, I just want this place to be your one-stop shop for really anything you need survival. So if I need iron, being able to walk up to this and just grab some iron is going to be really, really cool. And obviously, once it really gets full, I'll start filtering it into the actual system. But for now, this should be good. Now, overnight, I'm probably going to take out the shulker box and put a double chest there. So this is definitely just temporary for now anyways. But I think it looks really cool. We've got a little iron vending machine, which looks pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys think and how I can improve the area. I really love this whole thing, honestly. So please be nice with the feedback. I don't want to hear that you hate it. But I'm just going to see how the iron farm does tonight and see if it does well. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. And hopefully we get at least 8 stacks worth of iron. And hopefully more by the time the next episode rolls around. But in the next episode, we're either going to work on the 3rd floor or actually start the item filtration system. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today. I hope you have enjoyed. And if you have, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing, of course. If you didn't know, you are able to subscribe to your favorite channels on YouTube. So you need to do it if you haven't done it already. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.